Before we get started with the video, I would like to announce that I'm officially now on Connect as an expert. You could shoot me a text or set up a call with me if you have any questions about politics or the future elections that lie ahead or just anything in general. In the description down below, you will also find a GoFundMe to help me support my YouTube channel. This is for people who want to send super chats, but usually since I haven't been going live lately, you can go ahead and donate right here to this GoFundMe link. The link will be in the description down below. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with On Point Politics. Make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you want more content just like this, and comment down below your thoughts on this race. This is the 2025 Wisconsin Supreme Court race and my official projection for the race. So Susan Crawford and Brad Schimel are running for a 10-year term on the Wisconsin Supreme Court on April 1st, 2025. Incumbent Justice Ann Walsh Bradley is retiring. The filing date was January 7, 2025, and the primaries were on February 18th of this year. So we see that technically it is a nonpartisan race, but the candidates usually take stances on issues to the point where it ends up becoming a pretty, partisan race. You see the state's Democratic Party endorsed Crawford, and Schimel is the former Republican Attorney General. So very interesting. And we see here in the 2023 election, Judge Janet Protest I don't even know how to pronounce that, won an open seat, defeating Daniel Kelly 55.4% to 44.4%, creating a 4-3 liberal majority and shifting ideological control of the court for the first time in 15 years. And so now that this judge has now retired, the seat is now open, and whoever wins this race will basically determine the balance of power in the state of Wisconsin. And this will be really interesting because there are certain implications in this race. If the Democrat ends up winning, they will draw a new House map and erase House seats from Republicans more than likely. They will also have influence in the 2026 midterm results and the 2028 presidential election, and could potentially turn Wisconsin into a blue-leaning state if the Democrat justice or the Democrat candidate for this race ends up winning. When we look at the latest poll that was conducted by SoCal Strategies in this race, we see Susan Crawford is in a strong position to win the Wisconsin court race. SoCal Strategies poll finds Susan Crawford holds a 50-42 lead over Brad Schimel in an On Point Politics / SoCal Strategies survey of the race. We did this on March 25th to the 26th using the Synth Theorem online panel. We can see here the online panel is conducted using Synth Theorem panel. Quotas are used for race, sex, age, and education. And we see here that with the turnout, Crawford is particularly boosted by Democratic groups appearing significantly more likely to vote than Republican groups. Kamala Harris voters are 6% more likely to vote than Trump voters, according to our vote probability estimates, resulting in a projected Harris +2 electorate, which is not great for the Republican candidate. Wisconsin divided on Trump but supports two of his major policies. Trump is slightly underwater with registered voters in Wisconsin, but his proposal to end tax on tips is supported by 64% of Wisconsinites. Additionally, 72% support banning biological men from competing in women's sports. And we see that the generic ballot is R+4 in the state of Wisconsin for the 2026 midterms. It is early, but Republicans have a 6% higher favorable rating as a party than Democrats in the state of Wisconsin. And when we look at the crosstabs here, you'll see that Schimmel's literally getting no black vote whatsoever in this survey. He's actually losing the white vote by 4 points. Hispanics are tied, and he's getting roughly about 23% of the other vote as of right now. And we see here different breakdowns as well when it comes to certain groups over the midterms, as well as who do you consider yourself to be. The electorate in this survey is about R+2, give or take. So that is very interesting. And we see here that it is a 6-point race, which is roughly what I have in my final projection for the race. It's going to end up being like a Crawford plus 5.8 race, give or take. That's kind of where I have it right now. Do you generally consider yourself a Republican or Democrat? Do you see the electorate significantly higher? President Donald Trump's approval rating. Do you think the United States is headed in the right track or headed in the wrong direction? Only 37% agree with right track. So again, very, very interesting here. And again, you see an R+4 electorate, the different issues, as well as who do you approve of, both parties, neither, undecided. So that is where we're currently looking at in the race as of right now. It seems to me that middle-aged voters are the ones that are kind of helping out Brad in this scenario. Donald Trump has a unique appeal with young voters that other Republicans just don't have. And so that is what's causing him problems with all age groups in this survey. As of right now, you can see he's losing every age demographic. He's even losing female and male voters. He's basically losing every single demographic you can find on the map, except for the fact he's getting 87% of Trump voters. And you even see people who did not vote in 2024. You have a pretty solid lead as of right now. And people who voted third party, you see they're breaking for him by like double digits essentially, or breaking for Susan Crawford by double digits. And we look at my final estimated projection, which was built using a very complex model for the state of Wisconsin. I basically had to track all of the demographics in the state and kind of basically create a model that can be used to predict elections in Wisconsin for the foreseeable future. And this is the On Point Politics official forecast for the Wisconsin Supreme Court race based on the latest SoCal Strategies polling. We see Susan Crawford is going to get about 1 million votes in the race, with Brad getting about 892K. So it's about a 100,000 vote race, 110,000 vote difference. And we see that the margin is Crawford plus 5.79. And we see, looking at the map, there are some pretty interesting county flips here. I mean, if we look at the 2024 presidential election, you'll see Portage was pretty competitive. Sauk actually ended up flipping into Trump's column. Vernon was in Trump plus 8 area. Ozaukee was still Trump plus 10. So you saw that, certain areas were still heavily backing, the incumbent president. But when looking at the race here, you can see Douglas is a significantly bluer margin than what it was back then. It actually matches a little bit more of this margin, give or take, from 2020, believe it or not. And we even see, different areas. We can see like an Oneida, for example. Crawford is basically barely trailing in this county. But when you look at it here, it is a Trump plus 18 county. Basically, Schimmel only leads by 8 points in that county. Villas, a 13-point win there, 23 points in the 2024 race. Iron County, Trump plus 26, only Schimmel plus 12 on the map here. And we even have like Sawyer County, which was Trump plus 16. It's now just a mere 6 points for Schimmel. This is not great turnout for him on the map. Lincoln, Schimmel plus 13. Here was Trump plus 25. But what's very interesting about this is, yes, he is collapsing in the rural areas, and that's why you do see, even like this county, look at the difference. Literally only a plus 9 margin of victory there when Trump actually won the county by 21 points. So this is not the best looking map, for the potential future justice at all. It is not a great map. The rural areas are significantly closer. You even have Sauk County flip back into the Democrat column from 2024. Ozaukee is just like a 4-point margin, albeit though it was about a 4-point margin in the last cycle. So I wouldn't be surprised to actually see that be the case there. And we see Brown, a 0.2 percentage point margin, very, very close county there. But we even see like Winnebago actually ends up flipping into the Democrat column, with Door County being a 6-point win for the Democrat candidate here. And we even see Racine and Kenosha end up flipping into the Democrat column on this map. Milwaukee is very interesting because the big city areas are actually somewhat similar to their 2024 counterparts. We see like La Crosse, it is a little bit bluer on the map here, and even like Clare County, it's like a 4-point gain for the Democrat, and Portage is a pretty significant shift from 2024. But we actually see like, Iowa, it's a somewhat similar margin. Rock County is a lot bluer, like a few points. Greene County is definitely a little bit bluer, and we even see Columbia ends up flipping into the Democrat column, and Vernon is a super close county. Crawford County, only a 2-point race. Like, this area down here in the last cycle ended up voting for the Democrat nominee the last time around, and you see, it's a 6-point race this time instead of 11 points. So clearly, Shamil's going to perform better than the last Republican candidate, Daniel Kelly. But we see here, this area is still very close. The Driftless area is a MAGA area. If you're not MAGA enough, if you don't appeal to those voters, you're going to end up losing significant ground with them in the foreseeable future. I mean, it's just the truth. And so that's where that comes in. And yeah, Racine and Kenosha also end up flipping as well. And you see Milwaukee ends up being a little bit bluer than what it was in 2024. Dane County, it's slightly less blue. Like, for whatever reason, he's actually holding up okay in some of, like, the big city areas. He's, like, doing all right, especially because he is getting a decent amount of Hispanics and is holding up well with certain sections of, like, white college grads. He's actually doing, like, okay with them. So that's why he actually holds up respectably well in the blue, the blue cities. Even this county here, it's basically the same as 2024. What really happens here is he just ends up collapsing in all of the white working class areas in certain parts of the state. The only two places where he kind of does okay is in Dane and in Milwaukee. So that's kind of where that's coming in. And we'll see how that holds up, because in the last race, Milwaukee and Dane were a lot bluer than these margins. So it'll be really interesting to see how that shakes out, in the foreseeable future. And so if you guys did enjoy this video of an official projection for this race, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button and to subscribe for the channel as of right now. And I will see you guys in the next video.